If you don't want to pay really high annual fees on popular credit cards that are talked about all the time, so like the American Express Platinum or Chase Sapphire Reserve, then this video is going to be for you, because in this video, I'm going to go over the top 8 best cashback credit cards for 2024 that, despite 7 out of these 8 cashback credit cards not having annual fees, are still going to give you a significant amount of credit card rewards that are going to allow you to have a much more simple and straightforward credit card setup. Real quick before I hop into the video, if you do enjoy videos just like this one, then do me a huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe down below, because it's a free and easy way to help support the channel and I would really appreciate it. Okay, first up is the American Express Blue Cash Preferred, which is actually the only cashback credit card on my list that technically has an annual fee. The Blue Cash Preferred is currently offering a welcome bonus of being able to receive $250 cash back, which is going to be given to you in the form of a statement credit when you spend $3,000 or more in the first 6 months of having the card. The reason that I say that the Amex Blue Cash Preferred technically has an annual fee is because it does have a $0 annual fee during your first year, but then every year after that, it's going to have an annual fee of $95. The Blue Cash Preferred actually does have some statement credits that can help to offset that $95 annual fee, because you will get an $84 Disney bundle credit and a $120 Equinox Plus credit. But let's be honest, almost no one is actually getting value out of that Equinox Plus credit, but you could reduce your effective fee on the Amex Blue Cash Preferred pretty significantly if you simply just use this card to pay for your Disney bundle and maximize that $84 Disney bundle credit. But the real reason that people get the Amex Blue Cash Preferred is because of the fantastic point multipliers. Since you'll get point multipliers of 6% cash back at US grocery stores and up to the first $6,000 spent, 6% cash back on US streaming subscriptions, 3% cash back on transit, 3% cash back on US gas stations, and then 1% cash back on everything else. So a huge reason that people love the Blue Cash Preferred and are willing to pay a $95 annual fee is because of the high multiplier for US grocery stores. Because if you spend $6,000 on the Amex Blue Cash Preferred in 1 year to meet that spend cap, then just based off the grocery store multiplier alone, you would earn $360 in cash back, which is going to way outpace the $95 annual fee. But regardless of the point multipliers, if you really just don't want to pay an annual fee at all, then this next cashback credit card, the Capital One Savor One, has a $0 annual fee. The Capital One Savor One has a welcome bonus of being able to receive $200 cash back when you spend $500 or more in the first 3 months of having the card. And then the main point multipliers on this card are going to be 5x back on hotels and car rentals, both through the Capital One travel portal, 3x back on dining, entertainment, popular streaming services, and grocery stores, and then 1x back on everything else. So the Capital One Savor One has become a popular alternative to the American Express Gold Card, because you could save yourself that $250 annual fee and then just get slightly less point multipliers of 3x back on dining and grocery stores. Plus, the Capital One Savor One also gives you 10% cash back on Uber and Uber Eats, as well as a complimentary Uber One membership. And then you will also get 8% cash back on Capital One entertainment purchases that you make with your Capital One Savor One as well. The Capital One Savor One also gives you no foreign transaction fees, and the point multipliers aren't exclusive with having to use this card in the US as well. So the Capital One Savor One could actually be a good option for you if you wanted to use this card internationally. Finally, not only is the Capital One Savor One a fantastic option as a cashback credit card, but if you want additional upside, you can also convert all of the cash back that you earn with your Capital One Savor One into venture miles so that you can transfer those miles out to travel partners. Next up, we have another cashback credit card with a $0 annual fee that is really simple and straightforward, and that card is the Citi Double Cash. The Citi Double Cash is currently offering a welcome bonus of receiving $200 cash back when you spend $1,500 or more in the first 6 months of having the card, which is especially great to see because the Citi Double Cash typically does not offer a welcome bonus at all. So right now it's going to be a great time to get the card. But the reason that the Citi Double Cash is such a simple and straightforward credit card is because you'll earn 2% cash back on everything, which is going to be a 1% cash back when you buy something, and then an additional 1% cash back when you pay for that purchase. Obviously, you should be using a credit card like a debit card in the sense that you pay off all of your purchases. So because of that, the Citi Double Cash can be a great option as a catch-all card to get 2% cash back on all purchases. In addition to the 2% cash back that you get on all purchases for a limited time until the end of 2024, you are also going to get 5% cash back on hotels and car rentals that you book with the Citi travel portal. And if you have a higher tier Citi credit card like the Citi Premier, then you can pair the Citi Double Cash with the Citi Premier and not only get the guaranteed 2% cash back on all purchases, but also have some additional travel upside to transfer all of those rewards that you're getting out to Citi's travel partners. Next up, we have another similar credit card to the Citi Double Cash, which also has a $0 annual fee. And that card is going to be the Wells Fargo Active Cash. The Wells Fargo Active Cash is also going to give you a welcome bonus of being able to receive $200 cash back, but that is going to come with a lower spend requirement of needing to spend $500 in the first 3 months. Just like the Citi Double Cash, the Wells Fargo Active Cash is going to be a very straightforward card to get value from, since you'll simply just get an unlimited 2% cash back on all purchases that you are making. So the Citi Double Cash and the Wells Fargo Active Cash are going to be very similar cards, in the sense that they both have the purpose of being catch-all credit cards. But one difference is that Citi credit cards can sometimes be really difficult to get approved for, and that's just because Citi is really sensitive to credit inquiries. However, Wells Fargo is usually just a little bit more relaxed as a credit card issuer, so there's definitely a scenario to where maybe you get denied for the Citi Double Cash, but then you get approved for the Wells Fargo Active Cash. Additionally, you can now take the cashback rewards that you're earning on the Wells Fargo Active Cash and then transfer those up to a travel card like the Wells Fargo Autograph or the new Wells Fargo Autograph Journey. And that can allow you to get higher upside from your Wells Fargo points by transferring those points out to Wells Fargo's new travel partners. Okay, the next cashback credit card is actually going to be two cards that I grouped together, which are the Chase Freedom Flex and the Chase Ink Cash. The reason that I grouped these cards together is because the Chase Ink Cash is basically just the business equivalent to the Chase Freedom Flex. And the Chase Freedom Flex and the Chase Ink Cash both do not have annual fees, and both do have strong welcome bonus offers as well. With the Chase Freedom Flex giving you a $200 bonus when you spend $500 or more in the first 3 months of having the card, and then the Chase Ink Cash giving you $750 cash back when you spend $6,000 or more in the first 3 months of having the card. Both of these welcome bonuses are great, especially since they don't have an annual fee. So if you are interested in getting the Freedom Flex, the Chase Ink Cash, or any of the other credit cards that I discussed in this video, then I do have links down in the description of this video, and I would really appreciate it if any of you decided to go check those out. But beyond the welcome bonuses, the Chase Freedom Flex and Chase Ink Cash are known as fantastic cashback credit cards because of their point multipliers, with the Chase Freedom Flex having point multipliers of 5% cash back in rotating quarterly categories like grocery stores and gas stations, 5% back on travel both through the Chase Travel Portal, 3% back on dining, 3% back on drugstores, and then 1% back on everything else. On the Chase Ink Cash, you'll get point multipliers of 5% cash back on the first $25,000 spent in combined purchases for office supply stores and internet, cable, and phone services, 2% cash back on the first $25,000 spent in combined purchases for gas stations and restaurants, and then 1% cash back for all other purchases. So the Chase Freedom Flex and the Chase Ink Cash can both be great options depending on if you're looking for a personal or business credit card, since you'll have those welcome bonus opportunities with zero downside since they both don't have annual fees. Plus you'll have some high point multipliers of 5% back in specific categories that can maximize your cashback rewards. The next cashback credit card that made my list is also going to be two credit cards that I grouped together. So that's going to be the Chase Freedom Unlimited and the Chase Ink Unlimited. Just like with the two credit cards that I just talked about, the Freedom Unlimited and Ink Unlimited both do not have annual fees. And on the Chase Freedom Unlimited, you're going to get the same welcome bonus as on the Chase Freedom Flex, which is to receive a $200 bonus when you spend $500 or more in the first 3 months of having the card. With the Chase Ink Unlimited, you are going to get the same welcome bonus as the Chase Ink Cash, which is going to be to receive $750 cash back when you spend $6,000 or more in the first 3 months. So even though the welcome bonuses are the same as the ones with the Freedom Flex and the Ink Cash, the differences are going to come from the point multipliers. With the Chase Freedom Unlimited, you are going to get point multipliers of 5% cash back on travel booked through the Chase Travel Portal, 3% back on dining in drugstores, and then 1.5% back on everything else. And then on the Chase Ink Unlimited, this is going to be really simple and straightforward because you're basically just going to get 1.5% back on all purchases. So the Chase Freedom Unlimited and the Chase Ink Unlimited are both going to be options for you as a catch-all credit card. Again, just depending on whether you prefer a personal card or a business card, but those cards are going to give you a 1.5% cash back which is notably lower than the 2% back that you'll get on other cards that I discussed earlier, like the Citi Double Cash and Wells Fargo Active Cash. Still though, some people are going to prefer the Chase Freedom Unlimited or Chase Ink Unlimited, simply because you're going to be able to earn Chase points. That, in my opinion, is the most valuable points currency out there that includes valuable travel partners like Hyatt. However, if you are someone who strictly wants to redeem your credit card points for cash back, then you probably don't care that much about the travel upside. And so instead, the Citi Double Cash or Wells Fargo Active Cash could be better long-term catch-all credit cards for you. Next up, we have the $0 annual fee Wells Fargo Autograph that I would consider as a foundational card since it covers a lot of major spending categories. The Wells Fargo Autograph has a welcome bonus of being able to receive 20,000 bonus points when you spend $1,000 or more in the first 3 months. And where the Wells Fargo Autograph really shines is from its point multipliers, since you will receive point multipliers of 3x back on restaurants, travel, gas stations, transit, popular streaming services, and phone plans, and then 1x back on everything else. The Wells Fargo Autograph gives you that 3x elevated multiplier in pretty much every major spending category except for grocery stores. So you could utilize the Wells Fargo Autograph as a foundational card to cover most of your spending categories and get 3% back in those categories. I then pair the Wells Fargo Autograph with another cashback credit card that gets a really high multiplier for grocery stores. So an example of that would be the Amex Blue Cash Preferred that I discussed earlier, and in doing so, you would form a really powerful 2-card setup. Additionally, the Wells Fargo Autograph also now gives you access to Wells Fargo's new travel rewards program. So not only can this card be a great option as a cashback credit card, but you can also use it for travel upside as a travel card if you wanted to as well. Finally, last but certainly not least, because I think this is probably the best cashback credit card that you can possibly get, we have the $0 annual fee Citi Custom Cash. The Citi Custom Cash has a welcome bonus of being able to receive $200 cash back after you spend $1,500 or more in the first 6 months of having the card. But what makes the Citi Custom Cash so powerful is that you'll earn 5% cash back on your top eligible spend category and up to $500 spent per month. For that spend category, it's not like you're required to pick something specific. Instead, you have the option to choose. And your options are going to include categories like restaurants, grocery stores, gas stations, travel, transit, streaming services, and more. My recommendation here is to pick one specific spending category that maybe isn't covered by some of the other credit cards in your setup, and then utilize your Citi Custom Cash as your dedicated card for that one specific spending category, especially since you'll just earn 1% cash back on all other purchases. This is exactly what my wife Lucia and I are doing in our 2-player setup. So we're utilizing her Citi Custom Cash as our dedicated credit card for gas stations. And even though Lucia already has the Citi Custom Cash, I would love to add the Citi Custom Cash sometime in the future as well, so that we can add a second Citi Custom Cash to our 2-player setup, and ultimately so we can double up on that high multiplier and utilize a second Citi Custom Cash for another dedicated spending category. But in conclusion, you don't have to spend a lot of money to have a great credit card setup. And especially if you are someone who values simplicity, then any of these cashback credit cards can be a great option for you. However, if you are interested in some travel credit cards as well that can give you additional travel upside, then check out this video next where I go over the travel credit cards that you need in 2024. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Peace.